Oh, yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Get your ass in. Yeah, get in your lane, homie. Freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is in the building, hitting y'all upside the head with this morning paper. Hitting y'all upside the head with this morning paper. Salute to everybody. Sorry I'm late. I ended up having to, I'm not working today. Friday's my off day, and I got a lot of shit to do on my off days. And I ended up taking my daughter, dropping her off because it's raining, and I didn't want to, we don't have an umbrella, so obviously. So I got to get umbrellas for the people. I dropped her off at school, so anyway. How y'all doing this morning? Yes, we're going to talk more about Charlie Kirk today. We're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. We're going to talk about the theories. We're going to talk about the debunking of the theories. We're going to talk about all the different things. All the different things they're doing to play in our faces, right? Because, this is a test. Good morning to you. Good morning. I can't really read the chat like that right now. But I hope you guys are doing well. Salute to Real Eyes in the building. She's in the building. Salute to Brother Shelton. Good morning. Yeah, old Charlie boy. Listen, I told you guys why it's important to understand what's going on with this Charlie Kirk situation, because if they could do this to Charlie Kirk, they could do it to any leader that we look up to, right? Obviously, I'm not the type of cat to look up to a Charlie Kirk. Many of you are not. Many of you are. That's not really the point of this live stream. The point is, if they can do this to Charlie Kirk, they can do it to anyone. If we accept the narrative, if we accept their official story, even when it's full of holes, even when we know it's a bunch of bullshit, even when we know they know how to manipulate, manipulate images, they know how to manipulate video, they're spoon feeding us information, and you got a lot of people out there with their theories, right? Like myself, I have my theories, right? I tell you guys up front, I'm not bringing you facts. Well, I'm bringing you certain facts. I'm not bringing you all the facts to make a conclusion that is completely unequivocal. There is no unequivocal conclusions that anybody can bring you right now at this point in time. Or there are people that can bring you enough information to draw a definitive conclusion. They're just not going to do it. Salute to Black Springwell Autumn. Salute to you, Queen. They're not going to do it. And I hope we understand, none of us have all the facts. None of us have enough information to debunk any theory at all. So whether you believe that Charlie Kirk was shot in the front, right, that bullet entered into the front, or whether you believe it entered behind his ear, whether you believe Tyler Robinson did it or someone else, no one has enough information to definitively say which is true. Now, you can believe there's enough information, like I believe there's enough definitive information to say that Charlie Kirk was shot right here, and then it exited from the front of his neck. I have, in my opinion, there's enough information out there to make that a definitive thing. But obviously, you got people out there, you got ex-snipers, you got this guy, you got that guy. You got experts on both sides giving you different opposing information. Which expert do you believe? Because these guys, right? They'll tell you, I believe this, I believe that. And there's that, I believe that Charlie Kirk was shot in the front. They'll say that. And these are guys that people look to as trustworthy, honest, and credible. And then you have guys that say he was shot here. Same thing. Credible, trustworthy, all that shit. But I have to question what makes them believe these things. What information are they leaving out? What information are they ignoring? Are they glossing over? This is what I look at when I look at these guys that go with the front of the neck theory. Or they'll say completely incorrect shit. Derek C. Williams is in the building. Salute to my brother Derek C. Williams. Let me make sure you're a managing mod, bro. Hold on. When I park, I'll my brother Derek C. Williams in the building. I will read your comment. Make sure you drop your link. Hey, y'all go check out Derek C. Williams. I'm looking forward to Derek C. Williams doing content again. Me and Derek C. Williams, we go way back on these YouTube streets. He started his channel a little bit before me. We were moderators for the same weirdo to start with, but you know. Listen, like I said, I have to consider what people are leaving out when they are debunking certain theories, right? I have to listen to what they're saying. Why? Because, well, if you're willing to omit, if you're willing to say completely incorrect shit, I can't listen to you anymore, can I? I can't take you seriously because I'm like, man, well, what about this? What about that? No, that did not happen. Right? Like, for instance, some guy said something about, well, they used noise location software to determine where the shot came from. What? How? What noise location software? And how do you use this noise location software? Because was this noise location software being deployed at the time of the shooting? Because I have to ask, like, okay, so you use noise location software, you played a video, and you use noise location software, and the noise location software told you where the shot came from. Because I have to question that. One system is called Shot Spotter. What does Shot Spotter do? Right, but that's what I'm saying. Does the software have to be employed at the time of the shooting? Or can you use it in a video? Okay, so if they're using this noise location software, how do we know that it's being used properly? How do we know that they're not manipulating the noise location software? Because these are the questions I'm having. Because there are way too many inconsistencies with everything else they're telling us. Let's see. Black Spiel Autumn, salute to you. Derek C. Williams says the picture is clear. Derek. Ex-snipers are chiming it. But the video showed him being shot from the rear to me. That's what I saw. And what I really saw was the exit wound in action. I saw the exit wound in action. You get what I'm saying? But when these guys debunk the theory that he was shot from right here, shot, the bullet entered right here. They don't go over this part. They'll show this part. They'll show, oh, well, that wasn't blood. That was an earpiece. Okay, so you showed the earpiece coming off. How does that's not debunking anything. All you showed was, well, from the shot from the front, it may look like blood was coming out, but when you show it from the side, you actually see the earpiece. That's not debunking anything. You're just showing, okay, that might not be blood. That might be the earpiece flying out. That's not debunking the idea that he was shot back here. You're just debunking the idea that there was blood coming out. Again, okay, so let's say, okay, you got that out the way. Well, how come you're not going over where you slow it down and you can see the skin pulling out this way, and then a next split second later, you see blood, you see it pop out, right? You see the hole appear as the skin is stretched outward. To me, that looks like the bullet is exiting the front left of the neck. But these debunkers aren't talking about that. They're talking about this in the earpiece, and the this and the that, and the shirt puffing up in the back. Right? Okay, so now you're not going over that. Well, I can't. How can I say you're debunking anything? Yes, it will be a mystery 50 years from now. Yes, everyone is acting like an expert. And there are experts out there. But guess what? There are experts giving their take. Right? Really, they're just educated guesses, y'all. They're approximations based on their knowledge and based on the information they have. Let's talk about the Jeffrey Epstein files. I'll get back on that. I've talked about the Jeffrey Epstein files a whole lot. Y'all could go back. Am I blaming Jordan Tyler? I never blamed the trans anybody for this. I don't think anybody trans did this. Y'all know my theory. I think there are actors, right, involved in Israeli shit that might have had something to do with it. Darius C. Williams says, now remember, when we saw the man in China fall out in 2020, remember Snapzilla Gorilla? I remember. Can't believe my lying eyes, I guess. But Derek is a Mississippi boy and not a ballistics expert. Well, what I do know is that what I saw come out the front of his neck, I don't have to be a ballistics expert to see, oh yeah, that's clearly the bullet exiting the front of his neck. But no one talks about that when they debunk anything. So I'm like, well, you ain't really coming with shit. There was even somebody that said that when Charlie Kirk got shot, he fell back. And he's like, oh, well, if he got shot, there's no way he could have got shot in the back and fell back. He didn't fall back. What are you talking about? He didn't fall back. He fell to the side. So now you're lying about the direction he fell in. Charlie Kirk got shot and clearly fell that way. He like this. Right? How is that back? No, he fell to the side. Why are you telling people that he fell backward? Make it make sense. Exit wounds are larger than what, Daniel? Larger than what? Somebody, no, he didn't go back into the side. He went to the side. He went to the side like that. Ain't no back into the side. Because when you see him fall off the chair, he clearly falls to the side, onto his side, not onto his back. No, he didn't fall back into the side. No, he clearly fell to the side. He went like that and then went that way. He seized up. And that's another thing they left out. The man died instantly. He seized up. He seized up like that and then fell to the side. They make you think he fell back. He didn't fall back. He didn't fall back. He seized up like this and then went to the side like that. So that's what happened. Now, Gregory Stevens says 30-06 exit wound is about the size of both your fists put together. Well, it wasn't a 30-06. I can tell you that. He wasn't shot with a 30-06. And someone said that the exit wounds are larger. Larger than what? The entry wound created by that same caliber round. So depending on the size of the round, you might get a pinhole size entry wound, because when it goes in, it brings a lot of kinetic energy. It brings a lot of funneling and a lot of, it's essentially a shock wave. It'll pull the flesh in and create a nice, neat little hole. Yes, the exit wound is going to be larger than the entry wound. Not larger than the entry wound was, right? Not larger than the hole you saw. No. The hole you saw is going to be larger than the entry wound you don't see. If that makes sense. He said there's a video where his team pulled him backing off the chair, then ran to the car. I don't think they pulled him off the chair. I think he fell off and they were going to him when he was falling. I'm not sure he was pulled off. I got to look at that again. That's a good point. But I don't remember him being pulled off the chair. Yes, his neck went over to the left. Yes. But they're telling you he fell back. He did not fall back. I don't know why people are telling y'all that. Charlie Kirk didn't fall back. He clearly fell on his side. Derek C. Williams says, oh, yes, thank you, Derek C. Williams. I appreciate you, man. I keep forgetting. I suck at self-promotion. Yes, you guys, I wrote a book that I published in 2018. It's called The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease. It's a fictional. It's a great story. I think you guys will enjoy it. Derek C. Williams dropped a link to the book in his in the chat. So y'all go check that out. Greg Edwards says there's no reason to believe the government. Yeah. Especially since he's Cash, DJT, Don Bongino. Or is that who you're talking about? Dan Bongino? Listen. Newsom says the entry wound is also the exit wound. Wow. I've heard it all. It would be stupid to come to a conclusion based off that and that alone. I haven't come to any conclusion. I'm saying what I believe and what I don't believe. What I'm inclined to believe, based on what I saw, is that he was shot here and that the bullet exited in the front of his neck. I saw the exit wound being created in slow motion. And no one has debunked that yet. No one even tried to explain, why do I see his skin being pulled out this way? And then a millisecond later, you see the hole form while his skin is still pulled out. No one has been able to explain that. No one has been able to explain that away as an exit wound. No one has been able to do that. So I can conclude for myself. I don't care what. I'm not telling y'all what y'all should conclude based on what I've seen. Yeah, that was it. This right here, where the hole you saw. I draw the conclusion for myself that was an exit wound. Y'all can draw whatever conclusion y'all want. Talk about multiple hand signals that are sniper related. There are plenty of hand signals that the military use for a lot of different purposes. It does appear that a guy might be using hand signals. But again, there are a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, that don't add up surrounding this whole situation. Why did the guy take Charlie Kirk's chair and go up and take the camera down? Why would he do that? Now you're tampering with evidence. Why was he allowed to do that? Why hasn't he been arrested? There's a lot of questions. Why did a Turning Point USA member go on their little podcast and say that when someone in the government asked Erica Kirk if she knew what was going on, hours after the shooting, she said, "I know everything"? Why is Alex Jones telling us that the shot came from above, directly above, and went down, hit his spine, and exploded into his heart in the fragment? Why is he telling us that? How? So even if that was the entry wound and the guy shot from where he shot from, an elevated position, it's not going to be coming straight down, right? It's going to be coming down at an angle. So even if a 30-06 round entered here and went down at a slight angle, let's say 30 degrees, and it hit the spine is not going to make a 30-06 round explode. I don't care, hollow point, soft tip. And then I read a so-called, what was supposed to be the coroner's report, that it was a soft tip. It was a soft tip 30-06 round, not a hollow point. Soft tip. Soft tip don't mean that it's soft. You understand? That means it's not hardened metal, right? So a 30-06 round, if it hit his spine, it might have blew a big ass hole in his back. It should have blown a big ass hole in his back at 145 yards away. And then when they try to tell you, well, there's no way he could have got shot from back here because the tent's in the way, because obviously the shooter has to be in an elevated position. Well, if you look at where they say Tyler Robinson shot from, it's at an elevated position, right? It's also at an elevated position. So, and it's not like Charlie Kirk when he's sitting under the easy up. He's not toward the front of the easy up. He's further back. He's closer to the back of the tent than the front. So wouldn't it stand the reason that you got the same issue going all around the tent? So firing from an elevated position on that roof, because we're not talking about the building closer to the tent. We're talking about another whole building back. That's where they're saying Tyler Robinson shot from. It's higher. The roof of that building, the Lasser building, is higher than the building in front of it. So now you're at an even more elevated position, right? So, and then they talk about the shirt puffing up in the back. Well, it also puffed up in the front. He was not blown back or forward. Dirty Money. He went to the side. I don't know where you guys getting this back shit from. Explosive Mike. I don't know about all that. I mean, I saw a video on that. I'm not sure about no exploding mic, right? I'm not sure about that. I've never seen nothing like that. The fragments from Spain. It's always the small hats with these people. I don't know who it is, but I do know that Charlie Kirk was developing quite a beef with Israel and Benjamin Nosferatu and allies close to Benjamin Nosferatu that are also close to Charlie Kirk, that are also donors to his organization. I know that one such small hat pulled his funding from Charlie Kirk a few days before he died. Still crying about this prick. No, I'm not crying about Charlie Kirk. I explained it earlier. He was not knocked back. Dirty Money. You're full of shit. He was not knocked back. He fell to the side. He seized up and then went to the side. You in my chat lying like a motherfucker. He got, which may be consistent with a spinal injury, went like this and fell to the side. In my motherfucking chat lying. Back and to the left. Whatever y'all say, man. He went up and to the side, not back. Back and to the side is like, okay, he's falling back. He would have fallen on his back. The momentum of whatever, of the bullet traveling, he fell to the side. Yes, Benjamin Nosferatu. I don't know why y'all in here lying about which direction he fell, but you're lying like a motherfucker. Someone says I'm snitching. I don't like snitches in my chat. Bye. Because to me it sounds like you about to be true ex-Lord Shover says Charlie Kirk's a loser. I agree. But that's not what this is about. This is not about my feelings about Charlie Kirk. This is about the fact that if they, let's say, some more nefarious conspiratorial characters with a lot of influence and a lot of power and essentially a lot of influence over our government had anything to do with his death, based on any level of resistance he was giving to a narrative and to a group, if they had anything to do with this and they're feeding us a line of bullshit, they can not only do this to Charlie Kirk, right? If we sit back and just accept the bullshit, regardless of the inconsistencies and, oh, well, we're just going to go with the government narrative because of this and that. People are drawing conclusions about how he was killed and who killed him. They don't have the information. Y'all don't have enough factual information to draw any conclusion. I haven't drawn conclusions. I'm telling you what I believe based on what I've seen, right? But we don't have all the facts. Now, there was some thing going on in X. On X, there was some threads on X where they were showing a coroner's report, right? An autopsy report. They were showing excerpts from an autopsy report, and they were showing excerpts from articles talking about the autopsy report that said that the bullet entered at the base of the skull on the right-hand side and came out on the front left of his neck. Here comes Jew hate, someone says. No, not even a little bit. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of information floating on around there. And then there are people talking about, all right, somebody says, stop yapping. I'm going to help you out. You ain't got to be here. If y'all got a problem with me yapping, y'all can go on about your business. Someone says anti-Semite. No, that's not even the correct term. Yeah, so there are these reports. There's some shit going around on X that is supposed to be showing reports that were up that they took down from the government website of Utah. That talked about how the bullet went in here and came out there. Is it definitive? No. Right? But again, there's a lot of information going around out there. A lot of shit ain't adding up. The official narrative ain't adding up. Now, Tyler Robinson's tranny neighbor or tranny boyfriend or whatever is missing. No one can find him. Right? He's missing. You know, some think that he might be under witness protection. Who knows? Witness protection from whom? Tyler Robinson is locked up. They supposedly know all the people in the trainee terror cell, right? That have prior knowledge of what was going to happen to Charlie Kirk. So What happened to the roommate? The roommate that he sent incriminating text messages to while telling him that he wanted to keep it a secret. You wanted to keep it secret, but you left a note under your keyboard basically admitting that you were going to try to kill Charlie Kirk, but you wanted to take it to your grave. I mean, listen, y'all can believe what y'all want. Derek C. Williams says, chat room, please respect the presenter. All the redirects aren't necessary. No, they aren't. But this is how they do it, Derek C. Williams. Big Say YT said there's a video of a gun flash coming from the dark area near Charlie Kirk's. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, it might be a muzzle flash. It might be a reflection of a muzzle flash, right? Again, it's not definitive. Someone says I'm going to be next if I keep talking about this. Well, then I guess there are dozens of YouTubers are going to be next, because I'm not the only one talking about this. There are plenty of people talking about this that are actually showing footage, that are actually showing receipts, right? And I've shared a couple of their videos so that you guys can go check it out. So if I'm next, then a whole bunch of people gonna be next. I ain't gonna be the only one then. At least I'm not gonna die the only motherfucker talking about this, right? Yeah, that was a bush, right? That was a bush. That was a bush. Yes, absolutely, it was a bush. See, and that's the funny thing. A guy did the video, Range Day, a salute to him. He was talking about the bush and how it appeared that on the top part of the bush, it might be been a guy with a rifle. And people debunked it by showing the bush, right? Showing footage of the bush prior to Charlie Kirk dying and all this other stuff. And that's supposed to prove that it wasn't a guy in the bush. It doesn't prove that. It just proves that the bush existed in the first place, right? Yeah, the bush was there before and after. That doesn't mean that he used the bush to conceal himself during the shooting and then left. The bush is still going to be there. So this is what I'm talking about. That's not debunking anything. All you're showing is that, oh yeah, the bush was there. Okay. But that doesn't mean that someone wasn't using the bush at the time of the shooting to conceal themselves from being spotted. What that's not debunked either, right? Now, do I believe there was a guy in the bush that took the shot? No. I don't have enough information to say that I believe that. The only thing that I feel is definitive is that he was shot, right? He was shot in the back of the head, right? At the base of the skull, and the bullet came out the front left. That's the only thing that I believe is definitive. Some guy says this is not going anywhere. The facts ain't literable. No, the facts aren't available to everyone. No, I have looked at everything. I've looked at everything. There's nothing to show that he was shot in the front. Salute to Mind and Mansa Musa. Salute to you, bro. Yes, freedom ain't free. The only thing, there's nothing. Yeah, I looked at all the videos. There's no proof that at all that he was shot in the front of the neck at all whatsoever. None. Yeah, the trajectory for the bush, yeah, it wasn't right to me either. Like, no. I don't think a guy was in the bush shooting anybody. No, I don't believe that. Stick to your position. I'm always going to stick to my position. There is definitely more proof, in my opinion. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Yukon Glacier. Oh, and somebody dropped a super chat, didn't they? My bad. Damn, let me go back. Salute to oh yeah, I did read that. I did read your super chat. Now listen. In my opinion, there's more proof that he was shot back here than from the front. I've looked at everything. Nothing makes me credible at all. What makes me credible? Nothing. What makes you credible? What makes Stephen Gardner credible? What makes all these other guys credible? What makes everybody that believes what I believe credible? What makes the FBI credible? Not a goddamn thing. We don't have all the facts. Was the bullet recovered? Well, they're saying the bullet was found. Okay, so according to the coroner report that they showed on X, the bullet came in here and he did like this, I guess. Like that, right? He was shot like that. And then as the bullet was coming out, the bullet lodged in his upper torso. So they found the bullet there. Amanda Ray says the news available online is whatever they want you to see. If you still believe the mainstream media, then I'm sorry for you. I'm with you. I'm right there with you, Amanda Ray. Yeah. Because it's clearly inconsistent. There's nothing true about what they're saying. I mean, it's all bullshit, in my opinion. And then the surgeon with the Man of Steel bullshit. I mean, come on, man. That was clearly a psyop to try to convince y'all that there's nothing to look into, right? Oh, he was just a Man of Steel. He had bones of steel and all this bullshit. No, it was not a 30-06 in my opinion. Definitely not a 30-06. I don't care if it was a hollow tip, boat tail, baby mama. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Salute to the beautiful, beautiful Queen Desiree Oliver coming through this morning. Salute to you, my love. He wasn't shot from the back. Who said he was shot in the back? No, he was shot at the base of the skull, right? The base of the skull in the rear back of the neck. Not shot in the back. Not shot in the back. The bullet entered here at this angle from his right, further toward the rear, and then came out the front. Right? He was shot more to the immediate right than to the back, if that makes sense. Charlie Kirk was shot at least 150 or 200 feet in the prone position. The bullet had stuck Charlie in the neck and hit bone and redirected the projectile. Not a 38.6. You said 150 to 200 feet? A 30-06 at 200 feet would have obliterated Charlie Kirk. There would be no question. No, I've never killed any animal with a 30-06, but I've seen animals get killed with a 30-06. It goes right through them. It obliterates. The exit wounds are large, ragged exit wounds. There's no mistaking it. Desiree Oliver says, I don't know why people think they're ever going to tell us the truth. Look at JFK's assassination. No, they're not going to tell us the truth. And this is what I'm here to say. No one is debunking anything because they don't have enough facts. They don't have enough evidence. They don't have enough receipts to debunk a motherfucking thing. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to say, oh, I debunked this. No, you didn't debunk anything, sir. You debunked nothing. And the people that believe what I believe have not definitively proven that that's what happened. Because we don't have enough facts. I don't have enough facts. The people that believe what I believe don't have enough facts. The people that believe the opposite of what I believe don't have enough facts. And this is how they want it, right? This is how they want it. Because they won't ever give us all the facts. I can guarantee you, if Tyler Robinson makes it to trial alive, it will be a closed trial. That's what I believe. I think it'll be a closed trial. I think no one's going to know what happened in the trial. I don't think any of that. If Tyler Robinson makes it alive to trial. I would not be surprised if Tyler Robinson self-deleted before the trial started. I'm no better than a 9/11 truther. Neither are you. Neither are you. Black says the FBI gonna come for what? I ain't do nothing. See, I should be able to say I don't trust the government and not have the government come after me. I don't trust them. I don't believe a motherfucking thing the FBI is telling us at all whatsoever. And yeah, the sound of the gunshot is not consistent, in my opinion, with the sound of a 30-06 going off. But it is what it is. Anyway, someone says probably no high school diploma and definitely no college. Well, you got it half wrong. I have a GED and I have college. I've gone to college. I have a degree in college. But I do have a GED. So you got it half right. Someone says put the pipe down and go to work. Let me help you out. You don't have to tell me to go to work. You just don't have to be here. If you have to tell me to go to work, then you don't need to be in my chat. Period. Darcy Williams says 9/11 clearly was an inside job. Card carrying 9/11 truther here. Facts. So, thank you for the compliment. Dude, do you have a career? Someone says go to work. Let me help you out. Let me help you go to work. If you're telling me to go to work, then clearly you believe that people should be at work at this time. So that means you should take your ass to work and not be watching me. He didn't turn himself in. Alan Wade, where are you getting this that he turned himself in? His father turned him in. Hello. Someone says Mossad killed Charlie. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say they didn't either. Desiree Oliver says, college degree doesn't equate to intelligence. I personally know some dumbass college graduates. I do too. I do too. Trust me. But, you know, people got to say what they want to say. Do I think Tyler Robinson was involved in some capacity? Absolutely. I think he's an actor. I believe he's an actor. I bet you're one of those we was kangs guys. No, because I don't believe in any monarchy. I think monarchies are ass. I think monarchies was one of the worst things that happened to humankind. So no, I don't believe in kings. Someone says, an asshat named Jeebus says, my God, you're dumb. You're dumb? Listen, if you're going to insult my intelligence, at least spell correctly while doing it. I can't take y'all seriously when y'all sound like stupid ass motherfuckers like that. If you're going to insult me, please use proper spelling. Please. The least you can do. The least you can do is spell words properly and use punctuation and place, place what needs to be placed where it needs to be placed. I don't think they will ever release an unedited. No. I mean, they've already released unedited footage, but just in pieces, right? Well, I guess that would be edited. No, I don't think they're going to, like, why not show, before I get out of here, because I got to go, why not show a video, why not show the video of Tyler Robinson firing the shot? Why not show a video of Tyler Robinson assembling the weapon on the roof? Because that's what they said he did, right? They said he assembled the weapon on the roof. They say he disassembled it after the shot. They say he changed clothes up there. All right, show us the video. Show us the video of Tyler Robinson taking a shot, right? And show us the video, or not, yeah, show us the video of him taking a shot, changing clothes, and give us the autopsy report. Show us everything. Jeebus, you know what? He says, because they don't have to, bitch. You still are not using the proper terminology. It's TOO, Okay? If that's what you want to believe. Yeah. You saw him jump off the roof. That's all you saw. See, Jeebus is saying they don't have to show us, but they're showing us everything else. Why show us anything if they're not going to show us the most important bits? Right? Candace might be onto something, but I think she's also you know, manipulating and all these different things. I don't fully trust her. I don't fully trust her. Darcy Williams says lots of folks are using your too much time texting and not enough actual reading. This is coming from a social just us warrior. Facts. How did he get on the roof? I don't know, because they're not showing us how he got on the roof. They're not showing us him getting on the roof. They're not showing us him taking the shot. They're not showing him assembling and disassembling the weapon. They're not showing him changing clothes. They're not showing any of that shit. Joe Butler says it's a pretty easy breakdown. Okay, well, show us Tyler Robinson breaking the weapon down. I don't care what y'all talk. I don't care what y'all say about how easy or hard it is to break down. I don't care about none of that shit. Show us. Show us Tyler Robinson doing it. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. The bottom line is, no one on these YouTube streets have enough information to debunk a motherfucking thing. They ain't got proof of shit, right? No one does. The only proof I saw with my own eyes is where the bullet exited. That's all. That's the only proof I have, in my opinion. Freedom says she's married to an Ashkenazi Khazarian devil. Yeah, I know. I know. Anyway, so all this not debunk proof that you ain't got it. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. And you know who has the information? The government has the information. Erica Kirk says she knows everything. Who knows? Right? The bottom line is they took this guy out. And if we continue to believe what they're saying, it'll just make it easier for them to take more people out. And then we'll just be like, okay, well, it is what it is. Right? So if it can happen to Charlie Kirk, who was essentially on their side, he was pro-government all the way, wasn't he? Charlie Kirk was a law and order guy. Charlie Kirk was down with Israel. He was down, wasn't he? But then he was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm down with this no more. And then all of a sudden, bada boom, bada bing. They've done that to a lot of these leaders. A lot of leaders that started to see shit for what it really was, out just like that. And the more influence you have, the more dangerous you are, all right? So with that, I'll say, y'all stay safe, keep your head on the swivel, stay frosty, right? Get out there and train. You know, make sure you guys are fit. Make sure you guys are alert. Make sure you guys are eating right. Try not to consume too much bullshit. And because, man, it's essential for life in general. It's essential for your quality of life. It's essential to be as safe as you can be. And it's essential enough, it's essential, right? For your brain to be firing on all cylinders. Yeah, Charlie Kirk did essentially say that Israel was committing genocide. And because of the amount of influence that Charlie Kirk had, it's a dangerous thing, right? So anyway, y'all stay up. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And respect to Darius C. Williams. Respect to my chat, my mods, all you guys. Thank you for coming through. And y'all go check out that book that Darius C. Williams dropped the link for. I say it's a good book my damn self. And I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Real Eyes. All y'all be safe. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace. Yeah, bullshit conspiracy theories. Sure, buddy.